Hi, my name is Wyatt Hall, and this is my final Ignite talk. Today I'll be discussing strategies of formative assessment for learning with a focus on Strategy 5. For those of you not familiar with the strategies of assessment, Strategy 5 focuses on using evidence of student learning needs to determine next steps in learning. Often during our teaching, we introduce content, teach, practice, and then we assess our students. Through implementing this strategy, we are giving our students the opportunity to identify those areas of misunderstanding, plus we're giving each student time to master and learn previous misunderstood specifics. The reason why I chose Strategy 5, I believe implementing the strategy in my classroom instruction will build my own effectiveness as an educator, plus it'll provide additional opportunity for each student to master class content. So before we can really focus on how to improve student understanding, we need to understand how our students learn in the classroom through the three key principles of learning. First, we the teacher must understand their prior knowledge. Is the topic new? What is their level of understanding? What experiences do they bring into the classroom? The next principle deals with factual and the conceptual framework. So, do our students know and understand the facts? And if so, can they apply factual knowledge beyond factual memorization? The third principle of learning deals with the importance to self-monitor learning. During this phase, we are helping our students take control of their own learning. This can be accomplished through our students becoming aware of learning objectives and tracking their progress to meet learning goals. So, now that we know how our students learn, let's focus on the three types of learning needs to close the gap with our students. When students fail to meet learning objectives, the first reason may be as simple as students do not understand the content yet. When we diagnose this as the problem, the solution is simple. Give our students further instructions. This does not mean to reteach, but allow them time to put the pieces of the puzzle together. Try to apply taught concepts to other lessons and skills. But whatever you do, do not begin to assess students that fall into this category, because a failed assessment may result in lower self-esteem and/or decreased motivation in the topic. The second reason why students have yet to master content may be because they are experiencing errors due to flaw in their reasoning, or students may be experiencing a misstep along the way. For example, if we're teaching our students order of operation and our students know how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide, but fail to complete complex math problem because they're not following the correct order, we need to identify this as the flaw. And we need to share the mistake with our student and develop a plan together to get on the path to mastery. The third reason why students fail to master content is due to errors due to misconceptions. Students may learn something inaccurate, and the way we move forward with these students is by identifying misconceptions with our students, or misconceptions that our students may have accurately. Develop a list of common misconceptions students may have about a subject, share them with the students. Then develop lessons that address those misconceptions. In other words, allow our students to learn from other students' mistakes. In order to identify the types of errors our students may make when learning, we need to develop strategies to diagnose each type of learning error. The two errors I will discuss today include learning trajectories and using diagnostic assessments. When using learning trajectories, we can track how students learn, understand, and develop thoughts through their learning experiences. It's important to note, not all learning growth is linear, and not all students follow the same learning trajectory. Constructing learning maps and deconstructing state standards can also provide teachers with useful information when tracking a student's learning growth. The next step I'll discuss to assess learning needs is the use of assessments, such as multiple choice questions or written response questions. When developing multiple choice questions to assess understanding, it is important to use plausible distractors. Wrong plausible choices can show us incomplete understanding. Also, having students explain why an answer is the correct choice or why it's the incorrect choice can also assist us teachers in diagnosing the specific needs for focused instructions. After we have assessed learning needs, we need to use the information to redesign our instruction for the next time. Share common misconceptions with our students to learn from others' mistakes is a healthy option, or use misconceptions to avoid instruction strategies altogether. In conclusion, we must break the pattern of teach, practice, assess, and grade, and instead gather evidence after practice and assess learning needs. This will give our students the opportunity to master content, which should be every teacher's learning objective.